Today, we are diving into my top 5 watches under $500 that I would actually buy. In full disclosure, this is not my wheelhouse. I usually spend most of my time looking at watches that I cannot afford, and in turn, it keeps me from spending all of my money. One more thing, there's a catch. Every single one of my original picks went just a little bit over budget. So, in keeping with theme, I have found some amazing alternatives that stay within the $500 limit on the manufacturer's website. So, let's get started. First up on the list, we have the Field watch. My pick, in my opinion, is a no-brainer at this price point. Hands down, it has to be the Hamilton Khaki Field Mechanical. This watch is an absolute classic, has massive military heritage, is Swiss made with a hand-wound mechanical movement, and it fits the current trend by having a cool vintage vibe. But at $595, it's just a bit over budget. So I picked an alternative, the Bulova Hack, model 96A246. This one comes in at just $318.75 and is also a 38mm field watch with a long military heritage. The Hack may even be a better option for some, as it has an automatic movement versus the Hamilton's mechanical movement, alleviating the need for daily winding. One look and it is clear. This watch shares the same vintage style as the Khaki and does so without breaking the bank. So, given these two choices, would you go with the Bulova or would you save a little longer and go with the Hamilton? Me personally, I would go with the Hamilton. Next up, for all of us who think we need 300 meters of water resistance to hang out in the shallow end of the pool, we have the dive watch category. Hands down, my first pick for the dive watch under $500 was the Seiko SRP L13. The problem is at $575, once again, I broke the budget. So instead, I am going to go with the Zelos Swordfish V2 Forged Carbon Edition. Priced at $499, this watch is hands down a showstopper in this price category and is one of my favorites on the list. Punching far above its weight, the Swordfish V2 is packed with features that are usually reserved for watches in a much higher price category, such as a unique marble pattern forged carbon dial, which shares a sandwich construction, which is packed with vintage colored superluminova in the middle that gives this watch a beautiful 3D effect on the dial. To top it off, the bezel is not only fully loomed, it is ceramic. And get this, it has 120 clicks. And now for the bad news. If you head over to the Zelos website, these watches are almost always sold out. So unless you want to pick one up on the gray market, pre-owned, or wait until the next drop, my suggestion would be save a little extra cash and go with the Seiko. No watch collection is complete without the next category, the Chronograph. And for those of you who watch my videos, you know that one of my all-time favorite watches is the Omega Speedmaster. So it should come as no surprise that when I was searching for a chronograph under $500, the very first watch that came to mind was the Bulova Lunar Pilot Archive Edition. This watch shares a piece of space history with the Speedmaster, as it has journeyed to the moon and worn on the surface by astronaut Dave Scott in 1971 during the Apollo 15 mission. This is not only a watch that I would buy, this is a watch that I will buy if Bulova ever decides to release it in the 40 to 41 millimeter range. Taking into account that this watch is not only a bit too large, it is also a bit out of budget at $636. So once again, I had to find an alternative, and I have to be honest, it is not easy trying to find a chronograph in the $500 category that could compete with the Lunar Pilot. But I think I may have outdone myself because check this out. Say hello to the first watch brand in space, Sturmanski. This is the Luna 25, a line of chronographs meant to commemorate the Russian lunar program, Luna 25, a program that includes missions to study the moon. Produced in the heart of Moscow since 1949, Sturmanski is said to have been the brand of watch worn on April 12, 1961 by Yuri Gagarin during the first manned flight into space. While it may not be the Bulova Lunar pilot, it may just be the next best thing. And it comes in under budget at just $420. And if by some chance you have never heard of Sturmanski and you have learned something new from watching this video, you can pay me back by sending $100 to 45 Spring here in Florida, or you can hit that like and subscribe button and we'll call it even. And moving on to the category I try my best to stay away from, this is my pick for the dress watch under $500 that I would actually buy. And that is going to be the Baltic Classic. A little smaller than I like, and yes, I do wish it was 40 millimeter, but there is something about this watch that makes me really want to add one to my collection. It is elegant, it screams sophistication, the dial is just unbelievably stunning, and there is just one problem. It is just out of reach because it is $561.35. So instead, I am recommending the Citizen Tiosa Small Seconds. At $476, it's a beautifully designed watch with a subtle small second complication which I have grown to love. This watch is refined far beyond its price point, and what really makes this beauty a standout for me is the fact that it is perfect for a formal occasion or casual wear. All it takes is one look at the dial and the urge to purchase became almost too much to bear. I do want to throw in an honorable mention for this category. Again, I try as hard as I can to never find myself in a place where I need a dress watch, but if I did and I was on a super low budget, let's say around $200, there is no competition at this price point. I would go with the Orient Bambino Small Seconds. I mean, just look at this thing. 40.5 millimeter polished and brushed stainless steel case, automatic movement that features hacking, champagne dial, and to top it off, it is made in Japan. I am giving this watch my #1 pick for best value. And finally, we have the just a cool ass watch category, and there are about 5,000 that could work in this spot, but I have chosen the Brew Supermetric in Burnt Orange, priced at just $475. This watch has a bold retro meets modern design that is dripping with character. Every time I see this watch, it invokes a small emotion in me. I see it, I smile, and I think to myself, that is cool. I have not had the opportunity yet to have one in hand, and I hope it doesn't disappoint, but I will say that there is simply no way that I can see this watch not being a conversation starter. And for any watch enthusiast, that is cool. There you have it, my top watches under $500. These picks prove that you do not have to have a massive budget to pick up some pretty incredible timepieces. Let me know in the comments which one was your favorite, or would you choose something completely different with your budget of $500? Also, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I'm James. This is Blue Collar Luxe, and I will see you in the next one.